What we're presenting today is what we call visual meta. The problem addressed is that academic PDFs lack access to digital affordances beyond the web link. And our aim is to give academic PDFs metadata to enable rich interactions, views, and robust citing. Our approach is to add a few words to an appendix. You all know most books, one of the first pages, it has all kinds of stuff about the book. And you also know PDFs normally have nothing. So basically, the core idea is to take that kind of information and, like we've done with all the conference papers for this conference, which is so absurdly exciting, is at the very end of the document, at the end of the paper, there is now visual meta. That is just an amazingly big thing. So what is visual meta actually? Well, it's inspired by BibTeX. So for those of you who know BibTeX, it will look strangely familiar, slightly odd. It starts with visual meta start and it ends with visual meta end. This is supposed to be very human readable. This is not programming code. Inside that, we have wrappers. We have a header that says what version of visual meta it is. And today we have version 1.1. 1.0 is what we've been doing all the testing, and the last few months, an incredible team that you will be introduced to at the end, we have managed to put a .1 at the end of it. So this bit is just the actual BibTeX that you would find on the download page of an academic document. 100% normal. There is also introductory text, because the idea is that yes, PDFs are not fantastic in many ways, but the displayed surface on PDFs is very, very robust. We expect them to be around for hundreds of years, and Vint and I may not be around to tell people how to get value out of it. So we write it in normal human language in the introduction. So this is what we have for the ACM Hypertext, but this is what it is for the full visual meta as it stands today. I'm going to run through all the sections briefly. If you're interested, you may want to watch the video again because it's a bit of a whirlwind. Before the visual meta, we're looking at putting in a document hash. So we have ways of really identifying it's the right document. Then we skip past what we already have, and we have an extensions bit. In the extensions bit, we have what we feel is a solution to naming in BibTeX being ambiguous. In here, we say first name, middle name, last name, Arabic written name, Chinese written name, really doesn't matter what it is. And also contact information, because as you can see, it says what it is. So parsing software can extract what it feels is relevant to the user. After that, there's an opportunity to put in the entire references from the document in the standard format. You can also put in the headings. So the system knows where the headings are in the document, which is very useful for doing things like finding, folding, and so on. Also, this can produce an interactive glossary as well as a static glossary, which can enable when you're authoring a more concept-focused style of writing. Endnotes can, of course, be interactive, and this is where anything goes. You can add anything you like to visual meta, you just have to say what it is. We're experimenting with putting the entire text of the document into visual meta to help with analysis and formatting, because line breaks and so can be really iffy in normal PDF. And then after the visual meta, in a new page, we're looking at how to do an errata. It would essentially be the same as in the olden days of putting in a piece of paper saying where the changes are, so that it is still richly connected to the document. Current implementations. We have a really, really cool timeline. I'm sure you've all seen citation timelines. What is unique with what Adam and Mark has made here is the fact that any visual meta enabled PDF can just slot into this. We've also enabled such things as from a PDF, you can copy text, paste it in a word processor as a citation, because the copy clipboard includes the selected text and the BibTeX part of the visual meta. This is shipping in our software Author, which is, of course, the writing part, and Reader, which is the reading part. Many other features that are visual meta related, including folding, finding, interactive glossary, and concept mapping. Benefits. little bit of a list here. Advanced interactions while reading. There's many things happening to writing software. It should also be available when reading. Augmented citing we looked at. Citing today is absolutely horrible. We have copy and paste, but as you all know from being part of this conference, when you come to do the reference at the end, there can be mistakes, there can be all kinds of issues. If you can do a copy and paste citation, it's much more robust. It enables computational text to use Vince language. For instance, you can have an equation, maths, in the document. Because the visual meta refers to where it is, it can allow the reader software to make it interactive. It could also, as well as surfacing to the reader software, it can surface to servers, including things like if there is a graph inside, it can say what the XY axis actually means and so on. It is legacy safe, free, open, and easy to implement. In our book, The Future of Text, I wrote it by hand. In our software, of course, it does it automatically. And we have parsers that we're building that will give away to anybody who wants to put it in their software. Finally, it's robust, and this is maybe the most important part. Because it's not hidden in some kind of a package inside a piece of software, it can even be printed, scanned, OCR'd, and no metadata is lost. So you can store things for whatever period of time. In closing, this is part of the Future of Text initiative, which is also the Future of Text book and symposium. If you're interested in that, get in touch or search Future of Text. Unfortunately, you'll find us, which is a bit scary, and that's basically all. Bint will also be featuring this in his October issue of ACM Communications, and we are, of course, talking to other conferences and journals about how to implement this. You are the pilot, you are the first. This is just amazing. We've been doing it in many scattered ways, but to have it in this prestigious organization is wonderful. But please, think about what you can do with this. A lot of you are technical in different ways. This is entirely parsable. You can do magic stuff with this. We have only done the beginning. And very finally, I'd like to thank the team, all of whom are mentioned here, including my people at the University of Southampton and everybody from being here today.